Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Doing great. Welcome, everybody. A little bit late. Sorry about that. Been looking at some of the improvements and upgrades, and so anyway, we are at the beginning of the week. Sounds like the end of the week for most people, but we have a few upgrades that we want to share with you for those of you that are using a marketing tool with Tools Rock. So we won't go do too much of this because I want to get right to some things here. But if you will notice in your second page of your adtechworld.net website with Tools Rock, you will see a change on the tab that said schedule interview now says get something. Direct information. No, it says that doesn't say that. What does it say, Mark? Do you have it up?
Hold on a minute.
All right, I'll go get it. It says get detailed information is what it says. We spoke to a lot of people yesterday and got some information on changes, and so that's one of the changes that we made. And also, now I'm going to go over this with you in Tools Rock. If you have that program, you're going to notice today, keep an eye on it, you're going to see another autoresponder added. And that autoresponder, so this is going to give you an option to use a different autoresponder, meaning, well, let me tell you what it's called. It's called Friends Business Site. So you might want to write that down, Friends Business Site. What that simply means is there are a set of letters in there that are slightly different from the AdTech Biz presentation or invite. And it's a different autoresponder because the letters are directing them to the friends and family site. So it no longer says company overview, it says 3-minute business presentation or business video, 3 minutes video. So it still has the tab that says click here now, but it's referring to a 3-minute video, which means that they're now going to be directed to friends and family. So one of the changes that I made is that the leads at USA are all getting that autoresponder, which means when they click it on, instead of going to the business presentation, they're now going to friends and family. 3 minutes, it gives them 3 minutes and a chance to fill it out and move forward from there. So that's one of the changes. Why? Because you might want to use that for people that you want to talk to that either through a lead system or that you know and you want them to go to the friends and family. So that gives you the option. And later today, over the weekend, maybe by tonight, there'll be another autoresponder in there. It will be the business presentation. It'll just have another slight change in it. So for now, the new one is called, and it's not up and running yet. I did not put a code in there yet for you to actually choose that yet. So you can't get that autoresponder until probably another 2 hours. We're double checking I'm just proofreading now and making sure that the letters are all going to the right place. But that will be the option. So from now on, if you choose, you'll say, okay, I want to use these leads. And again, suppose you're using USA leads. You create that autoresponder, and you will be able to send those people. If you're using the USA lead or email system, you can start immediately mailing to those people that new direction, and they'll be able to get a link now that sends them to friends and family. So we did make that change, and so that's where we are with that. Now, as far as the talking points, as you know, we are dedicated to understanding and teaching and doing by bringing and understanding how to bring a new person aboard. And it's called onboarding, and you have to know the steps to that, and you have to be prepared yourself to be able to do that. So yesterday we covered a number of things. So I'll just review real quick in the first week what you should really be accomplishing, or they should, or you should help them accomplish it. Number one is that they get registered, obviously, with Carrot Bars. Number two is they get registered with a marketing system. If you're going to do it by hand, that's fine. If you understand how to keep records and do spreadsheets and all that of your leads, and that's great. But I believe in this day and age you need to have a contact manager. And that's what TSR is. It's a contact manager. And I believe you need that. And there are two reasons for that. One, I showed it yesterday, is that you need to have, and I'm going to open that up today again and share the screen, but you need to have a guideline. You need to have a path to send somebody down. And Mark, you might want to touch on that a little bit, and I'll pull this up and go down there, and so we can show the training room and give you an idea what it looks like in that training room. And you might want to touch on, you know what, if you just spent the $20 for the first 30 days, you'd at least see this information and see if it's the place you want to go and the tool that you want to use. So I'll go pull that up. Mark?
Okay, now I'll turn my mic back on. I had it off. Let me say this. First of all, we have to remember that we are what? We are in business. And when you're in business, you have to have a foundation. You can't just say I'm in business and do, you know, if you have a brick and mortar, you have to have a building. If you're at home, you have to have a building. So my point is, you can't have a building without a foundation. So these are parts of the foundation. The marketing system, $20. We have to understand that you have to spend some kind of money to run a business. You can't just say, okay, I'm in business and don't spend any money and just think that your customers are going to fly in and give you all this money and you haven't put any skin in the game, if you will. So, and $20 is really not a lot when you really think about it, especially what you get in Tools Rock as well. So when you talk about that first week, you know, you have to get a person registered, and the first thing you want to do is get Tools Rock, because they have to have a system where recruiting never stops. They have to have a system of contacting people and giving them information. You have to get your information in front of people. You have to let them know what? You have to let them know that you're in business. And this is what we use to do that. So, you know, as Joe was talking about, in that first week, you get the person in and you get them in Tools Rock, because they need to have that manual. They need to have an instruction manual, and they need to go through that manual in the educational vault, and they need to go through it, and you need to be able to know what's in there so that you can guide them through it, because it's your affiliate, it's your co-affiliate that you're trying to help. And you told them, you know, they were told, you know, with a little bit of coaching and training and a lot of help, you know, do you think you can be successful working, you know, a business from home without company? So you have to be there for them, and you have to guide them, because guess what they have to do? They in turn have to guide someone else that they bring in, because remember, you don't really have a recruit until they have a recruit. And everybody needs to go through the same process, because that's the process that creates what? Duplication. And that's how your business grows. So in that first 48 hours, in that first week, this needs to take place. The next thing is you got to get them in a communication class. They have to know how to communicate with people, because if not, then they're not going to know properly how to, you know, work with people. You know, the terminology and the perception, it has to make sense, because like I said, you're going to get some sharp people, and if you don't know how to communicate with them and connect with them, you're going to lose them, and we don't want that to happen. So therefore, it's very important Get them registered, get them Tools Rock, get them in a communication class, and keep it moving forward. That's what needs to take place. Because then you're going to have to add contacts, into the contact manager. You'd have to teach them all those things, and because they're going to have to know how to do that. And that's why we've worked so hard to bring these things together in order to be able to do it in a proper manner. That's how you run a business.
Hey, Mark, let me jump in with Victor here. Victor, I don't know why that's happening. Can you see that on the screen, what's happening when I go to share? Victor, your microphone. All right, well, Mark, you saw what was happening on my screen, right, when I go to share?
Yeah, when you hit full screen, it did that?
Yep, that's what happened. Exactly what is happening. I'm going to try it one more time. And
try, if need be, Joe, click me off and see what happens.
Let me... I don't know. I have it up on full screen right now. Enter the full screen, entire screen. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
Okay, now I see the green thing now. It should be coming up shortly.
I know, but it's showing a lot of these people. So, Victor, are you got your mic on yet?
I've tried getting in. This is my third try, so I'm in now.
What?
Yep, I'm here. All right, so you got the full screen. You're all you have to do is flip over to where you want to be.
Okay, let's try that out. Is that good right there?
That's it.
Okay, good. All right, fine. Thank you. All right, now let's go back to the beginning. We talked about what should happen the first week, and we said, look, register. Then register with Tools Rock. The advantage of doing that is you end up here. You go to Tools, and then you click on Team Training, you click on Training and click on Team Training Room, and this is where you end up. And this is a back office training room, and it starts out with a handbook. There is a full-blown handbook here. Create it so that you can go in and it's a separate PDF. You can print it out and go over it to see what this industry and this business is like. And I think you should read it and go over it. And on the last page, there's actually a page for your new affiliate to sign to say, hey, yeah, I read it. Not mandatory, but it'd be a good idea to know that they did that. The second thing is that checklist. If you open the checklist, another PDF, I believe, is just there for you to go through with them and help them and get them on board. Now, if you're not familiar with that checklist, you need to get in there, open it up, and take a look at it. It gives you the ability to guide them and yourself. So then it just starts with getting started with carrot bars. And it gives you the tasks you need to complete, task 1 and task 2. Register, set your positioning, watch your instructional videos, and here's your instructional videos. They're all in line. This is a task that your new person could do easily. This shows them that you're organized, that you're a business person, that you know what you're doing, that this company knows what they're doing. And there they are, how to open your account, how to set your position. I wonder, Mark, how many people understand how to set their position. I'll ask you a question, not today, but next week. Would you like me to cover what we're talking about here on set the position in your dual system? Would you like that to be a topic next week? So just put that in the chat whenever, and we'll see how many responses we get. Maybe you all understand that. And if you don't, I suggest you do. So you watch that video to see how to set your position. And it's extremely important to put your position properly and have your new person set their position properly. So if you're bringing somebody aboard and they're bringing in people, do you really understand where they're going in your dual system? Do you understand where you want that first person? Do you understand that if you don't you really don't have a recruit until they have one. So positioning goes hand in hand with that statement. You could create orphans in this business very easily, not understanding what set positioning means. And then you have an instructional video on becoming a gold millionaire and so on. Purchasing a package, how to upload your KYC, why would you teach somebody how to do that on the phone for 30 minutes when you could just tell them to go to a video and watch it? And there's different places you could get this. Even if they didn't get the Tools Rock system, they can find this video. So there's videos here. That's what they should be doing in that first. If you look, open getting started checklist, if you have that, you'll understand to go through these videos. You could get through these in a day easily. And then this part 2 is the Tools Rock marketing system. Now, that's just what Mark said. You got to have a foundation here. You got to have a contact manager. If you're using a computer, then you should have a contact manager. So that first week, what to accomplish? Guys, you heard Gloria the other day. First thing she does is wants people in that communication class, so that they can properly get their business set up. Because once you start marketing to people, you better know what to say to them and how to move them around without feeling foolish. So you get, again, first week, you get in the class, you get the TBC, you start learning dialogue, you stay in touch and role play with the people you're partnered up with. You get this whole thing set up. So then you go into the marketing sites, and it's an explanation here of what they are. Then how it works. Again, just explanations. Then we get down to unlocking your marketing sites. There are several marketing sites in the Tools Rock system. You can have as many as you want, depending on the program or the what word am I looking for? The 1999 plan. Depending on the plan that you select, if you're selecting $20 a month, you can use 2 autoresponders. You can use them both for cold market if you want, and this, by creating what I did yesterday, Mark, as far as the friends and family, it has a different set of letters to it now. The Friends business site now has a different set of letters. You could use it for people that you know as opposed to cold market. You could use them for both. And if you did that, you still could use another one for cold market. So you really could. If you go look at the letters today, you'll see that those letters could pertain to people that you know. However, the friends and family original letters are really talking to people you know. They're invite letters, and they're really talking to the people you know. Well, look, we all know that you should be spending 90% of your time searching for a new person, an interested party. So maybe the friends and family is part of searching for that, as opposed to worrying about talking to your friends and family by way of those letters that are talking to them in a friendly way and just introducing the business. Maybe you should use that to market it. I don't know. It's a choice that you will have now. But you must unlock those marketing sites in order to use them. Here are the full instructions on how to unlock them. Today you will see a new one. Well, no, I'm sorry. You'll see a new autoresponder in here. I'll get to that in a minute. But these are the main marketing sites we have. So I'll make a comment here. It tells you that you go into websites, unlock custom sites. That's what you need to do. And you follow these instructions as far as, there's a couple of things you need to do in there. But here's the password. It's going to ask you for a password. So if you want to unlock the AdTech Worldwide, you use AdTech Vault. And that'll take you to a page that will enable you to say, use this page. Now, if you happen to be new and you use this and you go unlock it, you're going to see the AdTech Worldwide Business front page on there. Just click it. That's all. It just says use this site. Don't worry about what picture's up there. If you're at the right spot, just click it. I won't explain that too much, but that's what you do. And the friends and family, you just go unlock the vault. Again, websites, unlock custom sites, and then friends and family. Unlock it. Unlock this 12-week plan. Now, we are changing this, so don't try to unlock that now with that. We may use the same password here, probably will. But that has changed. There's a reason that it changed. So it's not going to be called, my old site said joeshoop.12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. It's not going to say that anymore. And the reason it's not is because the people that own that URL have changed it. So we had to come up with another URL, and we thought the best thing to do to keep this uniform would be to call it adtechgold.com. That was what was available through GoDaddy. Now, I know that it's not our gold, it's not AdTech Gold, but the truth is that it is our educational site, which is AdTech, and our educational company, AdTech Worldwide. We just thought we would connect those dots. So even though it's Carrot Bars, we obviously couldn't get Carrot Bars Gold. You're not allowed to use that. So we chose adtechgold.com. Nobody had it. We took it. And so now when you go to that site, in fact, it may be up and running today. The mock of it is up. You don't have to do anything to unlock that. They're just switching it over from your username.12week financial freedom plan to your username.adtechgold.com. So when you see that up, you might want to keep trying that and see when it's up. The mock was up last night. So whether they've converted it over yet, I don't know. And they made it so you don't have to do anything except go to that page. So that's how you unlock the marketing sites. And there's a couple more in there you may want to use. Some people still like the very first one we created. It's okay. We copied Selena's, basically. Can't take credit for that. We just did different work, with different voice. And so there's other ones in there you could unlock. Now, here's your new person, right? So now if you help them, show them how to unlock their sites. And here's a video on how to do that. Instead of just following the words, you can watch that video. And here's what it says. Now that you've unlocked them and you've watched the video, now you got to choose categories. So again, remember, this is called a contact manager. So let's say you put 20 of your friends in there that you want them to see the friends and family website, and you want them to get on a regular basis, you want them to be in the system getting these letters on a regular basis, inviting them to look at your company. If you've chosen that, you really need to set up a category. The reason for that is if you want to go check to see what letters or what number of letter, or is it still active, you could go look at just those people by creating the category called, hey, when you set it up and create the category, it asks you, what category do you want to call this? And you can call it whatever you want. Call it My Friends and put a date in there, or just call it My Friends, My Best Friends, My Casual Friends, whatever you want to put on there, call that category. What will happen is when you want to look them up, you're going to go to a category search. You'll see once you create that's in there. The name, whatever you named it, is going to be in there. And you click that on and view it. Now all you're going to, instead of seeing 1,000 names in your entire contact manager, you're now going to see just those 20. If you click on a view of all of them, you see them all at once. But if you want to break them down, which you should, and take a look and see where they are and what autoresponder they're getting, what letter they are on, you can see that. You'll know then when the series has completed a month later, you'll be able to keep an eye on it, look at it and say, everybody's gotten all 10 letters. They're no longer getting letters. I think I'll restart it. You could do that, just an option. Again, it's a contact manager that helps you do that. So that's the next thing you have to do and teach these people to do is set up those categories. Okay, then you need to set up the autoresponders. And if you notice here on the screen, you'll see that there's autoresponder number 1, autoresponder number 2, autoresponder number 3. Today, there'll be another one called Create Autoresponder number 4. So I suggest you look and see what they are. So that's what they would do. They'd go in and step by step, it shows you to open these up. And now you have an autoresponder. Once again, if you have that $20 a month plan, you can only use 2 autoresponders. But it just occurred to me that you could, let's just suppose for a minute you only have 20 people in your friends and family site. Just 20 friends. Maybe 50. I'm thinking, Mark, maybe that people, if you organize yourself properly, you could do that manually. Instead of taking up an autoresponder and those letters, you could actually go in here, you could copy these letters and send them out, keeping track of it, maybe through a spreadsheet. You could send those letters out manually, there's only 20, 50 of them, through Gmail, and keep an eye on it and regulate it manually without taking up space on your autoresponder. So that way you could use the autoresponder for two different groups of cold market. I think that may be the way to go. And that way, you have an autoresponder with 20 people, and in my opinion, you're probably wasting that autoresponder. So do it manually. If you need more help with that, we can talk about it later. So after you've done that, it basically what it says is, hey, you're set. You've unlocked everything. You're ready to go. Now you really have to understand how to add the contacts to the system. And there it is. Add the contacts to your marketing system. So there's no reason. Now, once you do that and get it all set and your categories are set, you're basically on autopilot once you get the leads in there. How do you get the leads in? Well, that's the part of marketing that they need to understand. That marketing, look, you've got to get the Pete before you get the repeat. And you've got to find who that Pete is through a marketing or through leads that you have, leads that you buy, leads that you create, leads on the internet, social networking, buying leads for emails, running ads, finding business cards, talking to business people. There are lots of ways to gather up names to put in your contact manager and decide what marketing funnel you're going to send them to, and bang, put it on autopilot. And then you can spend your time talking to those people. If you happen to have people in your contact manager and you want to call them, then you can pick up the phone and use the dialogue we teach you in the class, which is, hey, this is Joe Shoup giving you a quick call from Arizona. How are you? The reason I called you is this. And whatever that reason is it they were on a website? Is it that they filled something out? That all changes depending on who you're calling. But if it's from a list, like I have, and you call and say, the reason I called you is you were on one of my websites. I want to speak to you about managing a business from home with my company. I want to give you a little bit more information. You have a pencil handy? I just use the assumptive thinking that they are going to follow me when I do that. And that's just another class. And move forward. And there's many reasons you called and what you want them to do. So there's no reason why a person in the first 30 days can't be, actually the first week, can't be totally on board here on what it is they're supposed to do. Now, it's going to take practice to learn the system. It took me a while, Mark, to figure out how to operate the system back here. I couldn't talk about this, last year. I didn't know how to operate through the system until I got acclimated, and when we recreated this whole back office. This is not a function of, or it's not I don't know what word I'm looking for, but we created this system back here. We put our heads together and said, what would people want to see? Along with Jennifer Ashby, she helped us through this process and answered. And here's the library again. They get to the end, the same videos are repeated, And then they can go down and take a look at the Tools Rock system and then see some motivational and training videos and go down and look at some motivational stuff and see, maybe they need to look at some things, and especially Art Williams. All right, so that's the starting point. Getting them on board. There it is. Now, getting them into action. That's the first 90 days. Get their contacts, connect with people, learn how to do it, learn how to talk to those people. That's how you do through the class. Class is now available almost any day at any time. So you bring a new person in. Gloria said to me the other day after our call, she said, Joe, I believe that I would want people, the first thing to do is go to that communication class before they even join me. Because I want them to know. I want them to know if I knew they were through that class, I could easily get them into my company if I knew that they took that class. So she raised an interesting point about, and I've always had the idea of marketing that through DVDs and making it available for the world to go see, whether they were with Carrot Bars or not. I just haven't done that. I focused here on Carrot Bars for the last 2 years with that. Or maybe it's time we do what she said. But you're right, Gloria. I would love to have talked to all the people who already went through the class and then show them stuff like this so they can understand how to move forward and do it much quicker because they'll understand the dialogue. And speaking of that, the people that's requested to be part of another team, I have it mostly created, so today you'll get an email from me. So those first 90 days, again, keep accurate records on all the contacts. That's what the manager does. People that you sent info to, people that clicked through. That means filled out the info, requested it. The follow-up calls. Look, they said the fortune's in the follow-up, right? But if you don't know how to pick up the phone and do what I just demonstrated a minute ago, you're going to get confused. You're going to get scared and not know what to say to that person. And you better know who you are. The class teaches who you are when you pick up that phone instead of thinking you're the know-it-all. It helps you get to that next person or get to that person, the next piece of information, a lot easier, teaching them how to get over to the director who is going to answer questions. So, it's important that you get your people on board. Let me show you another thing here. Every time I make a phone call, Mark, tell me if you saw the switch on the screen. Mark, your microphone.
Yeah, I saw it immediately.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, everybody else should see it as well. I'm assuming they are seeing it. This is the second page that the people will go to after they've been to the front page. A 3-minute video on the front end says, do you want more information? And when they fill out the capture page, after 3 minutes, they end up here. Why is this important? Well, here's the home page. This is the home page when they get there. That's not the first page, the capture page. This is the home page once they fill it out. And as soon as they start it, this is what happens.
Discover an amazing new program.
This is the video that plays.
Gold affordable, but offers an
Okay, so we're all familiar with that, but that starts playing on that home page. It says, glad to see you here. You can protect yourself from the devaluing dollar and runaway inflation. Gold is the answer. As you read this, your dollar is losing value. So let's not waste any time. Here's what you can do about it. And it says, watch the video. So the video's playing. And once you've finished it, you can continue on with these other buttons. Know your gold. That button is there or it's here. Know your gold. Watch what happens. Why do I want to be on that page when I make a phone? Look, here's testimonials down here. Whole bunch of testimonials. You'll recognize some of the people here on the Breakfast Club through these testimonials that are down here. Here's Art Kim and Wally, Tammy Morrison, Cecil Piper. People that are giving testimonials about not just the product, but the company. So then if you want it, this is the page I like to be on, Mark. Know your gold. If you want to know what this gold is, simply how to talk to people, if you do have to talk about gold, this page says it all. Tells you what LBMA is, what is bullion, so you don't look foolish when you're talking to people like you don't know what you're talking about. And so, again, this is a page I'm on when I'm talking to people. If they ask me about gold, as a director, I'm able to look at that. Okay, how it works. And this tells you what to do. These are step-by-steps. Take delivery of your gold. Store your gold. Keys to the vault. And then referral income. This explains how you get paid. Watch this. Why would a new person not need to know this? I mean, I don't understand why everybody doesn't have this site, to be honest with you. Referral income, share and earn, tells you how you get paid in direct proportion to the effort you put forth, basically. Doesn't go through the entire comp plan. But joining Karatbar's referral program, you get, and look at all the benefits. And it keeps talking to them. Let me know that if you're interested. We'll get through the benefits and so get through the steps. Okay, and then meet Karatbars. They want to know about the company? There it is. Once they've filled out that information, you can guide them to this. So if you call the person and you have this in front of you, and they've already filled out the information, you can actually take them to this second page without watching the first page and filling it out again. Or they could fill it out because they're a returning customer. So this is important for your new person to see. It gives them a pattern to follow. You shouldn't be afraid to pick up the phone if you know your objective when you pick it up. If you know who you are, you know where you want to take that person, this should be very, very easy. And you can never get stumped about what the company income, how it works, know your goal. Nothing could stump you by having this page in front of you. So that's why we selected this. This was Jennifer Ashby was very instrumental in creating these pages, and we're going to have her here, I hope, next week to talk to you about connecting. And connecting has to do with a prospect and with your new partner. Remember, you don't have a new partner until they get one. So if you show them a path when they come in, if it's true, which I know it is, that over 95% of the people aren't making the money they want, or if any at all, the reason, I know the reason, is because they don't know what to do. And they don't put enough time and effort into doing the right things. And this is an absolute solid plan to get your person on board. In fact, it's a solid plan to get you on board again. Now, of course we market this. We talk about this all the time. This is the marketing tool, the contact manager we selected, because we have the expertise of Jennifer Ashby to be able to help us and guide us through here and show us. She was one of the top income earners in one of my companies in the last 8 years, probably 6, 7 years ago. She was one of the top income earners that created these kinds of things for the industry. And she's the founder of Tools Rock. And that's why, because she wanted her people to do what she was doing. So, we could go on and on and on about onboarding and how important it is. I think everybody knows, Mark, that most people quit because they don't know what to do. They have no clue. They have no results. And I can tell you right now, if you're not taking your person and getting them to get a new person immediately, I'm not talking about spending all this time and go find your money to buy the gold and so on. You wait week and 2 weeks for a person to do that before they do anything, you're losing them. You will lose them. You have to get them on board with action and success. And the only way you can do that is through activity. And if you get them going right away and talking to the right people, introducing their business to everybody they know, and again, I'm suggesting you probably should do that manually through this site right here. And keep an eye on it, chart it, and make sure that you're sending it out every 4 or 5 days to the people you know, and following up and asking them if they've gotten the information, and can they keep you in mind if they were to purchase gold. This is the best way to buy it, and I'd like you. And by the way, who do you know that would be interested in a career change for the right money? Because I am looking to expand my company. Simple dialogue. And then go out in the marketplace, and wherever you go, whether it's belly to belly, whether it's the 3-foot rule, whether it's the emails, whether it's a ad you're running in a newspaper or online in LinkedIn, whether it's an email system, whether it's leads that you buy and call, you've got to go communicate the message to people and then connect with them and find a new person. Help them do that. And the only way you're going to help them is to put a map in front of them. And I believe that that map is right here. I believe we've created that map for you. And if you can't be successful doing this, it means you're not doing enough work, because you could go through a month without finding anybody, and then you could find 3 people the next month. But when you commit yourself to 1 year of activity, as Jim Rohn says, 1 year, put it together, find your plan, put it together, and have that activity for a year. Maybe it takes you to, look, some of our uplines spent 4 years to get where they got, and they just started. I have an upline that just started making money in December after 3 or 4 years. Sound familiar to some people? And they just kept at it until a person on board got serious and built one of those sides. And right now, honestly, they could lay back, sit back, do nothing now, and just collect the residual income. Probably don't have to recruit again. And may not, I don't know. It's not that much money, but just started making the money in December. So don't think that the people that have been here that are, teaching and telling you about all this money have done this overnight. It took them 4 years to get here, most of them. Now, it doesn't have to take you 4 years. They didn't even have a plan in place. They just kept going at it to people they knew and networking and out there and working with the company. And finally, the company got the 12-week plan in place and the dual system, and all of a sudden it exploded. So don't get discouraged about, don't get discouraged about finding your people. It's going to happen for you if you follow up a systematic plan. So get familiar with what this onboarding is about and have a plan for your person. You don't have to create a plan. That plan is right here at Tools Rock. It's right here. And as Gloria said, get those people into a foundational educational class. If I read the testimonial, Mark, that I got yesterday from somebody I haven't talked to for a while, and I know he comes to the Breakfast Club, but I got an unbelievable letter. I'm not going to read it. But an unbelievable letter about the persistence that we continue to keep up our work and improving and changing and monitoring, changing the like we did today, changing a link. Maybe that link is better than what we had. Certainly seems that way. Finding systems, finding contact, finding lead systems. People, don't stop at one, and maybe email isn't right for you. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's an ad. Maybe it's LinkedIn. Maybe it's social media. I know Victor and a bunch of other people have success out there in the social media, putting this information in front of them, getting people to look and then talking to them and then moving them forward. But again, you don't have to recreate anything. This system is in place. So all you got to do is look at it. So with that, Mark, I'll turn this back over to you to close out here and have some closing comments, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Bottom line here also is that this is designed for you to bring in that one person a month. And then when you think about it, if you're doing that and you're duplicating that at the end of a year, well, in the perfect world, it would be 4,096 people, and if they're buying a gram of gold a month, even, that's a great income. But if they get on a weekly plan or a bi-weekly plan, that's even a greater income. But you have to start somewhere. So again, think about the first 48 hours. Think about the first week, and then the first month, and then 3 months, and then a year. If you think in terms of that, and you use the tools, you can get there. Now, Joe, before we go, there's a couple of questions that you may want to address.
All right.
Shelley is asking if she has an old 12-week plan, in other words, the link, will it automatically be directed to the ad tech?
They're changing it over without you having to do anything. So in the future, Shelley, your website is your name. In the past, it was .12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. Now it's going to be your name .adtechgold.com. And it'll all be changed over without doing anything. So if that's your question, I hope that's what I answered.
Okay, and Carol is asking, when are you bringing back the 12-week financial freedom plan autoresponders? I really like them, and you said the other night that you were working on recoding them.
That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we just answered. That is the 12-week plan. AdTech Gold is now the 12-week plan. So when you go to your username.adtechgold.com, it's going to take you to that 12-week plan. It's going to be the exact same autoresponder. It's not an autoresponder, it's a funnel. It's the marketing funnel. It's not the autoresponder, it's the funnel. In other words, the marketing site. There are different sites. Unlock custom sites. That's one of the sites that you unlock. It'll already be unlocked. And instead of saying 12-week financial freedom plan, it's going to say adtechgold.com or the AdTech Gold plan. We might leave it in the funnel, call it the 12-week plan, but the actual URL is changing. That's the only thing that's changing, is the URL. We don't own the URL 12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. We don't own that. And whoever did own it took it away. That's why it's changing. It has nothing to do with us. We didn't do it. We just had to figure out how to get you to be using that 12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. We now own that. We own that whole system, that whole marketing funnel. But to get there, we have to use a different vehicle. The vehicle before was 12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. Now it's going to be called adtechgold.com. And you're going to get to the same place. Does that answer that, Carol? I think people might have been confused about what that meant. It's just a change in name. It has nothing to do with a change of the site itself. The site will be exactly the same. And I agree with you. I like that site. You'll have that option. The only difference is this. I am over the weekend with Jennifer. I'm changing the invite letters, or at least updating them. They were written by somebody else, and we're going to change those over to make it make a little bit more sense. Does that answer that for you, Carol? Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
She's
Yeah.
not answering yet?
She
Okay.
hasn't answered yet, so.
Okay.
That
Any
is,
other questions?
I think that's it. That's pretty much it that I see.
I could actually show you the site where to go, but I don't know if it's up and running right now, so I don't want to chance that and put it up there. And I'm pretty sure that today it will be up and running. It took a lot of coding different changes to get it over without you having to go do it again. That was their issue. They didn't want anybody to have to go delete that and bring it back, and people didn't. Now it'll just automatically go there, but you will notice that the URL doesn't say your username .12weekfinancialfreedomplan.com. It won't say that anymore. It will say your username .adtechgold.com. It'll be easier to get to, easier to tell somebody to get to it. When you go there, it's going to be exactly what it was before. Paul Sullivan will be talking on there and so on. The whole thing is there. It's present now. So I just don't know if it's running today. I saw the mock-up last night, the changeover in the URL. Has Carol answered us yet?
No, I don't see her.
Okay.
We put the answer out there, so.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that being said, it's just a matter of, again, going to work, using the tools, using the system, using the terminology, using what you learned in the communication class. So, you know, let's do that. So, Joe, anything else before we close out?
I just I'm going to ask Victor, is he still there? Because I need to know how to get back to the front page.
No, I don't see Victor there. I know he had trouble getting in today for some reason. He had to come in 3 times. So,
All right. For some reason, I'll figure this out to get back to that page. So it's just right now you see the friends and family, right?
Correct. Yes.
I'll just leave it like that. That's fine.
And one thing that we did find out, Joe, from what you and I discovered yesterday, is coming up. The pages are coming up immediately now.
Yeah, I understand. Victor, now I understand when that happens and you see all those triplicates go on the screen that you just have to go to the site itself where it is. I got it now. That won't happen again. Yep, I get it.
Okay, well, peace and blessings, everybody. Let's go out and make it a great day, great first day of the week, and hope you have a great weekend. Take this weekend and really study, get the education. People that you've just brought in or that you've been working with, re-engage them, get them on board. That's what onboarding is about. So get with them, get them on board, and get started, and let's move forward. So we look forward to seeing you on Monday for the Breakfast Club. So this is Mark Stevens with our host, Joe Shoup, saying peace and blessings, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning on the Breakfast Club. Bring somebody back new with you. Peace and blessings to you.
Now, Mark, one of the issues of getting back, which is why I needed Victor, is to close this out. So I'm going to try a few things here. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay. There we go.